Hello, welcome. It is actually week 3 of my 2.5 Mounjaro injection. Well, last week, week 2, was pretty easy. I didn't really have any side effects. I didn't have anything that really transpired that made me feel like, oh, I can't do this. I will say though, this week, week 2, I did have more of the I'm not hungry, so I had to make myself eat, which that was fine. I didn't have a problem with that, but that's one of the things that you have to keep in mind of with this journey is what's the end game. And I'll be doing a separate video talking about Mounjaro, tool versus cure. We all know that this Mounjaro is a new medication, and there's some studies coming out, and I'm going to share those with you as time goes on, that's showing what's the trend of the people who were in the original study who showed the great weight loss, what actually happened over time. Because that's something that we all have to keep into consideration, is that this is still a new drug. So there's a lot of excitement about the weight loss that people are seeing, you really got to be thinking about what's the end game. How are you going to really go from after taking the Mounjaro? So like I mentioned before in some of my postings, for me really, while weight loss is a goal of mine, my main thing right now is to reduce my A1C levels. And if I can use the Mounjaro to keep down my average glucose daily, that's something I'm doing. But also keep in mind, it's not just taking the Mounjaro shot, it's me implementing foods and me trying to get in exercise and me trying to do more rest and me trying to have more outlets for stress. So let's get to the main thing of what everybody wants to know. How much weight did I actually lose in week 2? Well, I actually lost 2.3 pounds, which added to what I lost in the first week, which was 3.5, which brings me now to a total weight loss in 2 weeks of 5.8 pounds. Well, I'm really excited about that, but I'm even more excited because if I add that to what I lost during my 45-day challenge to myself without taking Mounjaro, my total weight loss now from September to now is 20 pounds. So really excited. So I'm getting ready to do my week 3 injection. So as I showed you in week 1 and week 2, this is the container or the tube, the sharp or needle that it comes in, and you always want to make sure that the green dash is pointing to the lock position, and it is. And then the next thing you want to do is clean the area that you're going to actually do your injection. Now, with this Mounjaro shot, you can do it in 3 different places. You can do it in your arm, but they tell you if you do it in the arm, let somebody else do it for you. You can do it in your stomach, and you can do it in your thighs. After doing my little research and seeing people with their different side effects and different things like that, I saw where a lot of people were saying they had less side effects by putting it in their thighs. So I've actually been alternating thighs. So the first week I did the right, last week I did the left, so now I'm back to the right. First thing you want to do is clean the area that you plan to do your shot. And you just take a cotton ball with, and I'm using a 91% isopropyl alcohol. And if you saw my first week, you saw me making that face because I did not expect that actual sting that I got from the first shot. Now last week I didn't get the sting, so hopefully that's going to happen this time. So the next thing you're going to do is take the cap off, which I did. And you're going to look to make sure that the needle is straight, and it is. Then you're going to place it on the area that you cleaned. You're going to turn from the lock position to where the green little arrow points to unlock. And I'm going to try to relax like I did last week because that seemingly helped. But what you're going to then do is you're going to press the button on top. But key thing here is you're going to hold to hear 2 clicks. That's the key. You don't want to just press and take your finger off the actual button. You're going to take the button and you're going to hold the button, and you heard the first click, and there's the second click. Now, that is a little more sting this week going in than it was the last week. I don't know, maybe it's my right leg. And there is a little bit of blood coming out, so that means it definitely went in, and I'm gonna clean that off. Also, not sure how many people know this, but you can get a free Sharps disposal container from Eli Lilly. All you have to do is go to the site. I'll put the link down below, the Eli Lilly site for Mounjaro, and you can actually request a free Sharps container, which is great to know because technically you should not be throwing your needles in the trash. You should actually be disposing them in this type of container, and then I'll have to do some more research to figure out where I can dispose of them once this gets full. But Eli Lilly offers these for free, and like I said, I'll put the link down below and you can actually get it. It took about maybe less than 10 days to come in the mail. All I did was put my address information and it came in. But this is good to have so that you can actually properly dispose of your injection needles and make sure that you're keeping everybody safe. So just a recap of my week 1 and week 2. Total weight loss is 5.8 pounds. Yay! I'm excited. But most of all, like I said, what I've been seeing with my continuous glucose monitor is that my average daily glucose levels have been wonderful. They have stayed in range. I mean, the normal range is the 70 to 100. I've been right there, smack dab in there. And other than when I get a spike from working out, other than depending on what I eat. But like I said, I want to make sure we are all clear that this injection is not the cure. It's a tool, and it's really contingent on how you use this tool to be the most effective for you. So what I'm doing right now is I am not counting calories. I have not started counting calories or anything like that. I'm pretty much doing like I was doing before because I've been into intermittent fasting since September. And what I'm kind of doing right now is like a 1 meal a day, but I'm eating until I feel satiated. I'm not putting myself on any type of, oh, I gotta have X amount of calories. Now keep in mind, I'm not doing refined carbohydrates. I'm not doing added sugar. I will say I did have one other glass of wine this past weekend before with the wine bar, but other than that, that's it. And eventually I'll see what happens. But right now, so far, going good. No major issues. If I do feel a little back up, I do make sure I'm getting hydrated and staying hydrated because that's key for your proper concentrations of what's going through your body. And if I have to, I'll do the Mago 7. So you have to see one of my other postings that talks about Mago 7. But until week 4, hard to believe the time's going by so fast. I'll be doing my little updates in between so you can see how I'm progressing and you can also see what I'm eating, because another thing for me is I love good food. So one of these things is this sustainable? Even when I come off the Mounjaro, is the lifestyle sustainable? I don't want to put myself on such restrictions of eating, even though my goal is to reverse my A1C and I know I can't do the sugars and the refined carbohydrates, but that doesn't mean that I can't eat good, and it doesn't mean that I can't have vegetables. It just means I have to moderate and look at what I'm doing. So until next week with week 4 injection, I'll catch you later.